Welcome to the Real Estate Show. From buying to selling and everything in between. Rochester's home for everything real estate. And now, your hosts from the Anthony Butera team of Keller Williams Realty, Greater Rochester. It's Anthony Butera and Jason Mancuso.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Real Estate Show. Anthony and Jason here. It is episode 98 of the Real Estate Show. This week, football starting this week, right?
Yeah,
buddy.
Today, yeah.
Tonight.
I didn't think we'd make it here.
I'm honestly surprised that it's happening.
Yeah.
After-
Yeah.
When baseball started and they were canceling games.
Yeah.
Like I do like the app stock trading stuff. I was like, I just saw DraftKings dive.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh yeah, football's not happening, and then it actually happened.
I know.
Wow.
It's wild. I mean, it's gonna be so weird without fans. And the football's the one sport where I feel like it doesn't work to not have people there. But I don't know.
It's
I'm
going to be
obsessed with
super
football.
strange.
So what's the rule? Is it no fans for everybody, or is it state by state, team by team?
State by state. Like I think Kansas City tonight. I think they'll have people there, but it may be like 15,000 people or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I believe New York State, it's 20% right now.
Yeah,
So the
but
Bills
Buffalo,
will have
anybody,
people.
right?
What's that, Jason?
Buffalo's not having fans, right?
No, they're not.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
So yeah, we'll take what we can get, I guess, right?
Yeah, and from what I understand, I was reading an article like bringing 20% of the fans into the stadium, like the cost to put it together for like the game day experience, they wouldn't even break even, right?
Right.
You got to
yeah.
do vending, you got to do security, like all that stuff.
Yeah.
I feel bad for all those people that were making a fortune charging $50 for a parking spot in their backyard near the stadium. Those are the real victims.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. That's true. I never thought about that.
Yeah. Now they're
Big
going to get a
business.
job at Ponderosa again.
It's just going to be weird visually too. Like it's almost going to be like it might be better with an empty stadium compared to having, what feels like 10 people in there.
Yeah. Fuck, it doesn't fare well for the YouTube videos we're going to miss out on, though, from the stadium parking lot.
Right. I know.
Uh-huh.
Buffalo's going to be hurting. What's your, what's the Super Bowl prediction? Get that out of the way.
Back to back, KC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm saying there's
I
not
haven't
going to be
even
a
thought
Super
about
Bowl.
it, to be honest with you. Wouldn't it be crazy if Tampa Bay, New England,
I'd love it.
in Tampa Bay?
Yeah, and unfortunately, I would have to root for Tampa Bay because of my hatred for New England.
Yeah, it's just a storybook, right?
Yeah, but I don't like rooting on that buck-tooth idiot either. Mr. Perfect, Mr. Wonderful.
He is perfect.
Mhm.
I had my kid, my wife went to kindergarten orientation today. That's gonna be a freaking treat.
Yeah, we
Plexiglass all over the desk and stuff.
I don't know about the plexi. Well, my kids, one's going to first grade. She's doing it all remote for now. I think
Yeah.
we can decide to send them in. We're letting all the guinea pigs figure it out first.
Yeah.
And then
I don't blame
my son's going into kindergarten, and we didn't put him in. We're holding him back. Maybe he'll do kindergarten next year, or they said if we feel like we could toss him in January. But
Are you
Okay.
referring to little fat Italian girls when you say guinea pigs, Mark?
yeah.
It's just funny. It's like, how do you explain to your 5-year-old, hey, don't sneeze.
Well, yeah.
Make sure whatever you do, don't sneeze.
The principal was just like, I mean, if you can keep your kid at home, why would you start kindergarten off this way?
The principal said that?
Yeah, they were just like kindergarten. You could just have them go when they're 6. So we're like, okay. He's gonna be like in Little League baseball when there's like the super tall pitcher from like Guatemala, and he's like 17 and he looks like he's got a mustache and a house. I feel like he's gonna look like that when he's in middle school. He's gonna be like some super tall guy. He's gonna have like a beard.
I feel like
Two divorces in.
Your kids, mine too, will probably be rocking some really nice prepubescent mustaches.
Yeah.
About 10 years.
I made the varsity football team,
Yeah.
Dad. Well, you're
As
26,
an eighth
bub.
grader.
But,
I don't know. Freaking numb to everything at this point, right? Roll the punches and let's go.
That's it.
so with home buying though, are people I know just
Looking for
every
houses with classrooms?
like I mean there's so home buying now there's stuff like different schools are treating this differently. I know like a lot of in the sticks and stuff like Byron whatever area they are able to just have everybody in the school because it's smaller classes.
Yeah.
And then you go to the city school district and I think they're just doing full remote for now.
Yeah.
Are people even thinking about this stuff or is it too short term of a thing?
I think a lot of let's just call it the mindset of the buyer in any market, locally and nationally. I think a lot of it has changed in the last 6 months. I think people are thinking about the purchase that they're making and thinking about what they've experienced the last 6 months, and whether they're fearful of it happening again, or whether they just want to knowing that they have experience and want to be set up just to kind of live life from home, or at least whatever, call it quote unquote normalcy, whatever that looks like when we're 5 years from now. I think people want to have their home set up for living life the way that they want if we ever have to go back to a quarantine situation. So I think we're seeing a lot of demand for home office setup. We're seeing a lot of demand for pools in Rochester, New York, where it's typically something that people can go without. There's a lot more focus on amenities or potential for amenities than there ever has been, I feel like.
Yeah. So like the search criterias have changed. So like rule of thumb was like, listen, pool's the worst investment, especially like in-ground pools, right? To get one professionally done, you're talking on the light side, $50,000. That's before you even do like the backyard patio or anything like that. That's just getting you a hole with a liner and a 3-foot brushed concrete apron around it. So you're talking like $100,000 in many of these cases. By the time they do pavers or a patio around it, you got to put a fence up. So that was like the worst investment ever. But now, for the first time ever, there's actually like, I'm not going to say that there's a positive return on that, but there's a return for the first time. And that's because the buyers today, they're looking at houses completely different. They want, like Jason was alluding to, they want pools. They want home office. Of course, that's going to be important, right? They want finished basements because they need that extra space. And people want more land now than ever before, too.
Yeah.
So, like, and they want the land because the new home desire, like, I want to say post-pandemic, not that it's ever going to be over with because we're living in it, but like the pandemic lifestyle is just, it's different. Their property becomes like, we're going to have our annual vacation right here. Or like, they're buying campers. Like that's the new vacation. You can't get a camper. You can't get a pool right now. You're 2022 before you can get a pool installed. Like next summer's already booked. Done.
On the pool topic, I feel like we gotta keep in mind how beautiful the summer we had and how warm it was. That's not really typical for this area. So it's like,
it's weird.
It's almost like it overinflates the demand a little bit, but we still have our summer no matter what. It's nice here. So
it's just
you get the pool, whether it's scenic or whether you're actually using it. It's for what we're talking about, it's relevant. People want it. I mean, I don't know. I feel like not very much of a, going out these days with kids and everything and living that life. So it's like, yeah, I'm looking at it too. Like, all right, what do I want to make my home now that, we're forced to stay home, or were anyway. So it's just kind of funny to see how mindset shifted to really wanting to focus on the amenities that you can get with a home or that you can add on. So, I mean, that's a conversation too, right? Is with the inventory being as tight as it is here, you're not going to have everything checked off on your wish list.
No, but if they can
hardly
slide into
ever.
an in-ground, if they can slide into an in-ground, they'll overpay for the house because they know what it would cost to have one put in.
Yep.
So that's like, it's a new thing. And in the past, people would be like, well, we have an in-ground pool. How much value does that give? And the response last year and prior was zero. It could actually hurt you because you see buyers that buy homes with in-grounds and fill them in. They pay $5,000 to fill them in with topsoil.
Yeah. Oh yeah, a pool has always been like, could be a limiting factor to the demand in terms of, people not, there's enough people out there that even still don't want anything to do with a pool. But that's lessened this year compared to years past. So it's I think we're just having conversations, and this is part of the problem. We're having conversations with potential sellers that just decide, all right, instead of looking for a new house, I'll just make do with what we have and blow out the kitchen or blow out a wall here, or even do an addition. And I think, with people that are looking out there for a new home, they have a similar type of strategic mindset to where it's like, all right, this home isn't exactly what I want right now, but I can do this, I can do that, I can add on to it, and I like the location, I like the school district, I like the price point that it's at now, and I'm going to be here forever. Over time I'll do whatever I want. It's just funny, we've talked about unintended consequences about everything going on, and this is, definitely something that's kind of came up in terms of, buyers, really thinking outside the box more than they have in the past. Before it's been kind of one of these, like, the benefits of owning versus renting, and that's a major driving force. Now it's like, I want to own so that I can, get what I want in my home and really make it my, like you said, your staycation type of place.
Yep.
Yeah, we have out in Churchville, we have a lot of land. So when it first started, it was fine. Even if it was cold out, the kids could go play. And then we have like a bunch of trails and parks near us. I can't imagine, because it's still happening, the people living in like New York City in like a studio apartment that were just like, I guess this is my jail cell,
Yeah, no, exactly.
And I got cable, but yeah.
Yeah.
I was talking with somebody last night. He lives in Chicago in the city, and he's got, a small apartment, nice building. There's a rooftop pool and all, workout amenities, stuff like that. They can't use them. They've just now been able to start using this stuff, and it's like you gotta have reservations. You gotta, go through all this protocol. It's I mean, that's where we have it nice in terms of, the just the land aspect in itself, or having a yard, even if you don't have acreage, compared to, a good chunk of the world being in, major metropolitan areas and being stuck in a high rise. I mean, can you imagine that quarantine period for 3-4 months and being stuck in your, 400 square foot apartment and not going anywhere?
The big cities are going to be hurt by this. I mean, because everything's amplified, right? I mean, the pandemics were, the results were the worst in the big cities. Look at New York City. And now with like the workforce, I think it was almost 30% of people that were going into the city are now able to work from home. And I mean, think about what that does. It affects everything. Now they can go, now they all want to be in Jersey or, outside of the city. They want to get into a suburb. And if they don't, believe me, if they don't have to go in the city, they don't want to. It's like, it's pretty cool when you're in your 20s and then all of a sudden you've got 2 kids and 2 dogs and 4 square feet for them to play with.
Mm-hmm. Also, I saw like a big rat eating a pigeon alive.
Really?
Like, do I want to see that on my commute to work? You know, do I want to see rats attacking pigeons every single day?
Yeah. Instead, you can just get some goats.
Yeah, you could do that.
One extreme, yeah, you could have goats, or you can be in the city with
Pigeon
a
rat.
rat that attacks you.
I choose goats eating my kids over the rats eating
For
pigeons.
sure.
Well, I saw that
Sure.
so many people now are also like buying boats.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The sale
that's
of
another thing,
boats
yep.
has skyrocketed because we were just, hey, I get this
Upfront.
vacation money sitting around.
Yeah.
You
No.
literally can't. Well, you can get one, but it's like people are just putting their feelers out there. You see like boats that are worth $10,000 on Craigslist listed for $50,000.
Mm-hmm.
Flip this boat.
And I think all of this kind of plays into like the demand that this area has, and these articles that come out with the rankings and stuff. And Rochester's been on it pretty consistently in the last couple of years. I feel like, I think it's just what we talked about in terms of like big city living compared to where we are. And even if you are in the city here, it's there's very few high-rise type living situations. So you have the the old-fashioned home type setup, and I think whatever, just throwing it out there, in the last 20-30 years, that whole downtown living experience was something that became very popular, and all these penthouse suites and stuff like that for the higher end stuff is to each his own. But it's like, if you can spend the same amount of money and have a great yard set up and all the amenities there, I don't know, to me I'd take that all day long compared to the hustle and bustle of the big city. But
it's changed. I mean, all of this it's changed the consumer's desires drastically in a very short period of time. So we're seeing the aftermath of that. It's crazy. The wants and needs have changed, and a lot of times it took something like this for the needs to really surface. Everybody's stuck inside together, like everybody's wanted that open floor plan concept, and now people, I think, are rethinking that. We need more rooms. I have nowhere to go. I got to make a phone call.
No, yeah, you're right.
Some alone time.
Yeah. I think the one thing, relevant to today's market, if you're looking to buy, I mean, you have to be flexible. Like, I said it earlier, you're not going to knock out every single thing, or even, I hate to say it, but the majority of things that are on your wish list. So it's like, you got to decide where your priorities are. You got to decide if you really want to buy, and know that there may be some either sacrifices you have to make or alterations that you need to make to the home down the road. And that's fine. Just make sure it makes sense for the budget, the financial side of it. If you're buying a home that you're really not happy with and have all these plans to do this, and that, just make sure it makes sense financially. And if it does, great. Because, again, just the climate that we're in right now, with the interest rates being low and being in a market where you can have the price point to get into a house that we have, it's definitely doable. It's just, you got to make sure that you're in check with your own reality on that side. So, don't expect that you're going to get the fully landscaped yard, the fenced in yard, the in-ground pool, the addition with the sunroom, the finished basement, master suite, all of this stuff for, half the budget that it requires. So you got to be realistic and have the game plan set.
Yeah, it's affecting so many other industries too. The home improvement companies, it's just good luck. If they're decent, they're booked out through the new year. So because people that are staying in their house, they're refinancing because the interest rates are super low, and they're doing the project they always wanted to do. They're finishing the basement, or on my side of town, they're finishing their garage.
Yeah, baby.
Green carpet.
Jason's garage.
I mean, we're in that boat. Like, we want to stay put. We're in a spot that we like, and now we want to start, making our house, what we want it to be, just to be comfortable for the long term. So there's, unfortunately, that doesn't help the inventory problem that we have, but that's the reality of part of the problem, at hand, is that there's a lot of people in a similar situation. They're just saying, all right, screw it. There's even a lot of people that have been looking for a home and then quit because of the competition and say, all right, let's just stay put and we'll blow out the kitchen and be happy.
Yes.
So I don't know. There's not really a around the corner moment to where things change anytime soon in terms of this inventory issue. So it's you really got to be kind of calculated out there in the marketplace today. It's totally doable. You just got to be realistic.
Did you guys see any of the footage or the pictures of San Francisco right now?
No.
Yeah, it's wild out there.
Oh my! It's because of the wildfires, right?
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
like
and
blocking the sun.
I read that was somebody was doing a gender reveal party that went wrong, and now they've got whatever it is, all this thousands of acres that are on fire.
Yeah. It's like San Francisco looks like it's on Mars in the middle of the day.
How dare they pigeonhole any unborn child into a gender anyway?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Let them.
Yeah, it's their choice now.
Yes.
So and kind of back to real estate, like that
No.
speaks to our market too, in terms of like San Francisco, your average cost of a home, $2 million or something ridiculous, and you may catch fire.
Yep.
Well,
yeah, I have family in San Jose, and it's literally right there. Like they're on it.
Yeah.
I mean, the wildfires, they seem to have been progressively getting worse. I mean, I don't know if you guys have tabs on that market or anything like that, but stuff like that, do you start seeing people moving out of certain cities or certain areas? And
yeah, I mean, New York, San Fran, I mean, yeah, it's happened there. I mean, like, I don't know. To me, the whole state of California
is that no good?
Yeah,
well, that's how I feel about just like Florida, where I'm like, hurricane. I don't know. Like, I don't want to ever have even one hurricane hit me ever.
Yes.
Rochester's
becoming more and more popular. I mean, there are people that if they were from here and they moved into a big city, now they're realizing like, damn, I guess I had what I wanted the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I
mean, I think it just speaks to the strength of the market and how we're popping up in all these rankings. I mean, I think, unfortunately, this pandemic is causing a lot of problems for these major market big cities that usually are sheltered from any problems. So we'll take it, I guess, locally.
All right, cool. You can check out AnthonyButteraTeam.com, subscribe to the podcast there. Find us on Facebook. Just search the Anthony Butera Team, and we'll see.
What's the Bills prediction there, Anthony?
Buffalo wins by 14 points.
Oh wow!
Do they got the Jets?
Yep, in Buffalo.
We making the playoffs this year?
No doubt.
Oh boy!
So much confidence.
How's that? No doubt.
I like it.
Last year was like house is money. What'll be. It was cool, and that's it. We're winning the division.
All right.
And my prediction is we get since the first time since '96, we get a home wild card, or we get a home playoff game, not wild card. No wild card. We don't want that.
That's awesome. No fans. Go figure.
No fans. Exactly. Damn it.
Perfect.
All right, guys.
All right, go Bills.
See you guys.
Thanks for listening to The Real Estate Show. Find us on Facebook, iTunes, Stitcher, and YouTube. If you're looking to sell or buy, talk to the Anthony Butera team of Keller Williams Realty, Greater Rochester. Visit AnthonyButteraTeam.com.